All right, I'm going to start. Um, so the first thing is I would like to the agenda. The meeting's going to start at 7:05. I'm asking everybody to please stay on mute and do not interrupt both presenters. If you interrupt twice, you will be moved to the waiting room. The first part will be the formal complaint entered and read by the membership by Ron Cook, to the membership by Ron Cook. I will be sending out the link to his document. You can copy and paste that into your browser. I have just sent it in the chat for everybody. After the formal complaint, I will read an appeal to the formal complaint, and then the membership will be able to ask questions after both presenters are done. Questions by membership will be called on by raising your hand. There is a icon under the reaction tab. So all you need to do is raise your hand there and I will see it. So that's, and the one on the phone, since you don't have that ability, Dave, I will ask you if you have anything to go for. All right. So
thank you.
Thank you. With that, Ron, would you like to present your formal complaint? Please get yourself off mute. Ron? Hello?
There, am I unmuted?
Yes, go ahead.
Can I get back to the viewing screen? Start.
I have. So you don't need your letters shown. You want to talk. All right, I can do that. Go ahead.
Be aware, I am here under protest in a 15 February email to me from Jerry Coviella relative to setting up this meeting. This meeting's format, he concluded with, quote, "If you do not agree to this, let me know so I will cancel." After negotiations we could not agree to a format. I then on 2 occasions asked Jerry to honor his commitment and cancel this meeting. Clearly, he has not done so. With that background, I will proceed with the reading. My primary objection to the ongoing election is the statement in the Delaware Valley letterhead email giving notice of the coming vote, which said, quote, "If the vote is against becoming a charter club, the dues and the participant fees for non-FFI members will increase to offset the cost of the affiliate dues." Think about that for a moment. There is much depth in that statement. 1, where do the bylaws allow due increases based on how one votes? More importantly, is that the right way to do it? How do you know, 2, how do you know how a non-FFI member voted? Some of the 30 plus may have voted for the proposal. Do you not know how many already FFI members may have not voted against the proposal? If so, should they not share in the offset fee? Why would they do that? Perhaps to protect fellow members from being forced to become FFI members. Where in the bylaws or in prior club history has there been anything about participation fees for members? Putting out this kind of message one day before sending out a voting email message itself is totally inappropriate and taints the election. Such action does not represent the democratic principles of a free and fair election, in my opinion. In conclusion, should we not be asking ourselves, do we value our fellow members or are they disposable? Should we be asking ourselves, for such a major issue affecting about half the membership, is 51% sufficient to pass as a past criteria. Should we be asking, do we really have a cost-benefit analysis of the proposed change from an affiliate club to a charter club? Thank you for your ears.
All right, now I will present what was really written to us to the board. Not once did Ron present what the complaint was. He says, by this letter, I wish to lodge a formal complaint relative to February 7th, 8th emails, initiating a voting process relative to DVFF Club becoming a charter club of FFI. He states about such a move would represent a major change to the Constitution, which we don't have, of the DVFF Club. The email states that prior meetings and a presentation was made on the benefit of becoming a charter member of FFI. Questions at that meeting were not fully addressed. In addition, only a limited number, 18 to 20 of the members were in attendance. For such an important action to be taken by the entire membership, CA 70, needs to be followed up to hear all pros and cons of the issue. In addition, all members should have the opportunity to register their questions, concerns, and inputs. Some provided information is incomplete. As an example, it is cited that $450 annual fee is paid to FFI for DVFF to be an affiliate FFI club. We will go away as a charter club. However, it is not mentioned that the cost of $25, 70 members at 25 means $1,750 to the FFI Treasury. Where is the cost savings to DVFF here? It is also stated that the insurance will decline from what to what. What other actual dollar savings are there? There's another especially erroneous statement that if the vote fails, dues for FFI members will increase to offset the cost of affiliate dues. Example, $450. Let's call that statement what it is, blackmail. Totally inappropriate, and more appropriate action should be rescinded. The $10 special reduction fee given to DVFF FFI members at a 40 member level should add $400 to the DVFF Treasury against the $450 affiliate. It also raises the question on how special on It also raises the question on how the special dues treatment came to be. It is clear that the full story has not been provided to the full membership, and membership for further question, comments, inputs for all concerned needs to be established. In conclusion, harassing people with emails telling them that it is known that they have read the subject emails, but yet have not voted needs to stop. Voting is open until the 28th of February. It is totally undemocratic and improper to be announcing how the voting is going while the polls are still open and must stop. It then brings into question whether the already corrupt, meaning me, voting process should be stopped. Respectfully, Ron Cook, a member of DVFF. I will now go into mine. Why your club should join FFI. This is directly from the Fly Fishers International website. And this is since 1964, Fly Fishers International has been an organized voice of fly fishers, while representing all aspects of fly fishing, from the art of casting, instruction, tying, and general fly fishing education to the protection of fresh and saltwater fisheries. FFI and its regional councils are the only organized advocates for fly fishers on a national and regional level. FFI currently has two types of clubs for those that are being associated with the organization, a charter and an affiliate. Each club has the opportunity to take advantages of both FFI national and regional council programs and events. International clubs can only join as affiliates. The mission of Fly Fishers International is to foster the legacy of fly fishing for all fish in all waters through conservation. Its core values, committed to the preservation of fly fishing opportunities and the legacy of fly fishing for all fish, all waters. Serve as the leading voice for fly fishing, its members, and global fly fishing community. FFI is driven by the mission and strategic vision, collaborating at all levels of the organization, including the board of directors, operations, council, clubs, members, and the fly fishing community. FFI believes the delivery of programs value to its members is essential to engaging them as active stakeholders in the achievement of the mission. FFI advocates the conservation of all our natural landscapes as the fundamental to our enjoyment of fly fishing, qualities of life, and preservation of the legacy of fly fishing must be founded on best available science. FFI is committed to the excellence in all areas of fly fishing education and includes conservation, casting, tying, and fly fishing skills. We believe that its informed fly fishers become effective stewards of our natural resources. Believes that the collaboration and partnerships with other like-minded organizations, agencies, and industries collectively provide a strong and more effective voice for conservation of natural landscapes, preservation of fly fishing opportunities around the world. FFI also believes in diverse leadership and membership is essential to effective representation of fly fishing community. I'm going to go over the expenses of DVFF. Below are the club's expenses as a DVFF affiliate club. We all estimated 8 months at $250 a month for each speaker is $2,000. Room rental alone is $350. When we run our fly fishing day, that runs us about $250. The insurance is also based on market price. That's why it was not in the letters. This year we paid $450. The affiliate fee, since we're going to a club of 72, will be increased to $450. The FFI affiliate fee of $450 goes away when the DVFF becomes a charter club. All members would need to become FFI members. Currently, at 55% of our members are FFI members. FFI insurance will be reduced. This year, we paid $450 for the insurance. A charter club only pays $350. There's a $100 difference right there of savings. So this was for 2022, and this is based on the current market price. Ron's number of $1,750 to the FFI treasurer has no basis on the balance sheet, profit and loss, or accounts payable of DVFF club treasury. When DVFF becomes a charter club, the affiliate dues are removed. DVFF club does not pay affiliate fee after that. Club taxes will be done by National FFI. Our club becomes a 501c3 nonprofit club, which enables us to go for grants. We have lost over $3,000 already since we were a C7 by the Theodore Roosevelt club by us giving a survey. We lost $3,000 on that because we were a C3. We also cannot apply for any kind of scholarship, any kind of programs, money, money going for any fly tying groups for children. Our club could get $2,000 if we put together a youth fly tying program and get a grant, but since we are C3, we cannot. Current dues structure. Currently, there are DVFF club dues and FFI national dues. DVFF, a non-member, pays a flat fee of $40. An FFI member pays based on age. The regular member, family, is $30 plus $35 national dues. An FFI member, senior or veteran, is $30 DVFF and $25 national dues. Call it whatever you want, but why should an FFI member double dip for those members that get the benefits that are not FFI members? This was implemented in September 2022 and no issues up until now. Ron did not post any of the benefits of the club and any individuals for joining FFI. The FFI has a learning center documents on fly casting, fly fishing skills, fly tying, and conservation. These documents and videos are available to clubs and individuals. Example of our club using the Learning Center document. The fly tying class uses the beginner fly tying manual for the fly tying classes. The fly fishing classes uses the introduction to fly fishing manual. This was also used during the fly fishing day last year. When I presented the introduction to fly fishing PowerPoint, Ron Cook asked me for a copy. This is used at the club level for education, but I sent him a copy to show him the product, which is only available to members of FFI. His response was, "That is a very comprehensive document." I say to Ron, "This product is developed using the dues of FFI members." DVFF Fly Fishing Day. We had an FFI certified fly casting instructor, Dave Zamos, instruct and taught fly casting for free because we were an affiliate club. At our meeting in July and August, we had Dave Zamos do the bronze casting challenge. He did it again for free since we were an affiliate club. Casting video instructions from certified fly casting instructors are on the Learning Center. Our newsletter uses the fly of the month from the FFI fly tying group. There are fly tying video library available to everyone from the fly tying group. Fly Fishers International has an industry partner program. For every 12 new FFI members, your DVFF that DVFF recruits, DVFF receives $75 towards the purchase of merchandise in the FFI's industry partner. Why is this a big deal? The banquet, we purchased rods, reels, fishing packs for the blue table at our banquet. This product was also given to us at 60% off or even more. DVFF had a credit of about $118.75 from members joining FFI. Ballot verification. MailChimp is being used to manage the voting process. After February 28th, a report will be created and sent to Eastern Waters Council of Fly Fishers International. They will verify the result. After verifying the result, the voting result package will be available for all members. Member responses I have received already. I have been a member of DVFF for quite a long time. I have seen many ups and downs over the years. Having served as president in the past, I have seen DVFF progress in many areas over the last few years, and I compliment the board and officers who have made these changes for the benefit of DVFF as a whole and individual members as well. The current agenda and vote in progress to have DVFF become a charter club for Fly Fishers International, in my viewpoint, is the most positive move for the club and for its members. FFI offers some amazing tools and information for each of us to become better fly fishers and better stewards of our so well-beloved trout waters, as well as all waters. There are times when we must look at what is best for DVFF and the members and set aside personal feelings and agendas. Let's all pull together for the benefit of this club. Dave Kimball. Another one. I've joined DVFF last summer and FFI shortly after. I specifically joined DVFF because I wanted to not just connect with those who share my passion for fly fishing, but also to go on trips to new waters, places I've never been, and to hear speakers I've only read about. I joined FFI because of the education they offer in fly tying, casting, and fly fishing in general. I am very pleased with Jerry as president of our club. He is passionate about fly fishing and puts in a lot of time, effort in his role. He does an excellent job of keeping the club informed and moving us forward. He's an excellent fly tying instructor, and we should be proud to have him as our president. I am very pleased with DVFF is considering becoming a charter club within FFI umbrella. There is no downside to this. We see our membership increase, opportunities for trips, educations, and meeting others who share the passion expand. Johnny K. And my last letter. Jerry, I have been a member for a few years before you became president. Though the atmosphere during the period of time was pleasant, the club seemed to be a social gathering to tell fishing stories and where to fish. And when it was compared to after you became president, the club then, due to your management style, took on a new fertility, stressing interest, relevant speakers, instructions on fly tying, casting, fishing techniques, etc., reaching out to the community, example other clubs, including FFI, and their additional research, re all aspects of fly fishing, expanding the membership during COVID lockdown, fishing trips and internal club events serve to strengthen the sense of belonging among us. All of the above is a direct response to the strong leadership and commitment of you and the present board. As for the membership of FFI being required for a membership in DVFF, I'm in favor of that due to the benefits DVFF would receive. My gun club requires a current NRA membership to belong. If you are not current, your membership to the club is terminated. No exceptions, no waivers. So now I'm going to stop sharing. Use the on the bottom, there's a reaction tab. Click reaction, and you can now raise your hand and ask any questions you'd like. Go ahead, Ron. You didn't do what it was that followed, but go ahead. Ron, you're on mute. You're talking to yourself. We'll get back to you, Ron, since you don't know how to work the control. Ed, go ahead. Ed Sauer? Ed, you have your hand raised? Go ahead. You're on. I can't hear you.
I think almost everybody's on mute there, Jerry.
No, he's not. He's not on mute. He's off.
Maybe he's taking a nap.
Ed, do you want me to get back to you, see if we can figure that out? Hit the space bar, Ed, see what happens. Ed, hit the space bar, space key. Try it now. No, you still can't. Jeez. I'll come back to you. Go ahead, Bill. William.
I just want to direct a question to Ron. Obviously, you have a displeasure or not an agreement with having the vote or moving to the charter. But what I was wondering is what is your ultimate goal?
I guess I am allowed back in now and not being cut off.
First of all, I did not cut you off. That you just didn't know how to work the control. So go ahead before you blame me for cutting you off. Go ahead.
Bill, my goal is to have the consideration of members who have reservations about being a charter member. What I would like to say is that Jerry has presented a very impressive case about case making for being a charter club. There was information in there that I was not aware of. I would ask if he would please send me a copy of that presentation. I would like to be able to read it closely and digest more of it. But my basic goal is being concerned about people who are feeling that their free choice is being taken away by the vote of only 50% of the membership needing to do that, when it is, in my views, a matter that is more important than just 50%. You potentially say, I know this is extreme. You potentially could lose 30 members. No, are 30 members going to leave because of not becoming a charter member? No. But are all 30 going to stay? So was there any discussion about how many people might leave because of this and what might be an acceptable level?
Well, may I respond?
Yes.
We did. This has been. We were even talking about this while you were still on the board. So, you know, this has long legs. The consideration of the attrition of those who may not want to participate with the Charter Club. We did take into effect, and everybody, I think, had a different guess as far as what the attrition rate would be. However, the board was in agreement that it's not going to be of significant numbers to really be super detrimental to the club. We do have the bylaws. Majority vote is the way to settle this, and that's the path that we took. It's not a super majority like they can have in Congress. It is a flat majority. And Jerry, what was it? You said 55% are already
50
FFI members.
55% are FFI members now.
Yeah, so the membership that is already FFI already puts us over majority. You know, so the ones that aren't FFI members have the ability now to either vote yes or no, along with those who are already FFI members who I don't think are going to vote no. That to me would just be weird, but I just think that, you know, we have already gotten to the point where we have enough FFI members, which is the majority. Going charter benefits everybody, and there is really nothing belonging to the Charter Club, belonging to the FFI as a charter club. It's detrimental. I mean, they're only there to help us. They're really a backbone and a guide. I mean, they've thought about things that we haven't even thought about. Certainly put the information out there for us. I'm sorry that you've had ill feelings on the process and don't think that it's been fair, but we've tried to make this as fair as we can. And, you know, it's a majority vote.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, guys.
I was Dale, your turn. Dale?
Yeah, I was just wondering, has anybody explored with the FFI? I know a lot of organizations that I've belonged to in the past where they made a major change like this. They had a grandfather clause where if existing members kept what they had and new members went to something different. Has that ever been explored?
I've already talked to operations about that. It's an all or nothing. You have to be an FFI member or not. They're also giving to all new members during the charter process, $20 memberships. So they've decreased it to get you in.
I do remember that. And my next question was, you had mentioned plans for grants and that kind of things. What are our plans for getting grants for educating outside of our club? Have we ever explored that, and are we going to explore that?
Dale, we probably will again. The issue has been we lost about the $3,000 grant because of it, because of us being a C7. And you know, Scott was part of it, and a couple other people that were on the survey put a lot of time and effort, but at the end we lost a $3,500 grant. There's a grant that I can get from FFI to get to do a youth fly time program and do that. A $2,000 grant from the fly time group. All I got to do is fill out the paperwork and put together a program for youth fly time, and we would get the money so that we can use the money to buy vices and materials to do this. So there are, and I'm sure that as a board member, you yourself will end up being pushed to do more, to find out more about getting grants.
No, that I understand, and no offense, I don't care what we lost because we can't change that. That's past. I'm more concerned with what we can do in the future.
Well, I'm sure that there will be more. At this point, I've stopped looking because.
Okay, that's fine. I just asked a question. Thank you.
You're welcome, Dale. Ed, you want to try again? You're still on mute, though. Now your volume's up. Take the. You got a microphone there? No, damn it. Why don't you text your question or whatever in the chat box? How's that? You can't type either. Can you? How about you call me on the phone? You got my phone number, Ed? And I will push it through that way. Just call my phone. 267 337 0717. Want me to do it? Say it again. 267 337 0717. All right, go ahead, talk.
Oh, wow, cool. Can everybody hear me now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so can I. I can hear myself. So it's delayed and feedback, so I'll do my best. I see Scott, who's also known as Home. You owe me a steak. Listen, I wanted to thank you, Jerry, for doing this tonight. And I wanted to thank Ron for his input. I just wanted to put in my 2 cents. Because it's no secret that, Jerry, you have been an advocate, a strong advocate for IFF joining and becoming a charter member of IFF since you become the president at DVFF. It's my impression, correct me if I'm wrong, Ron, but I get the impression that, Jerry, you're pushing for a hard to the hoop for joining IFF, but Ron's concerns are more about the mechanics of how this voting or approval process is going through the club. Whether or not I agree with, becoming a charter member of IFF, whether or not I see the benefit of it, my impression was that Ron was concerned that it came on fast, that we got an email that said, by the way, 95% of the people that have voted yes. Get your votes in. And continue reminders to vote. So to me, it's like two different issues. So in my feeble mind, the resolution would be, what do we gain by resolving this in February? Do we gain something in February? Or would it hurt just to take a step back? Because it feels like this big snowball's rolling. That's what it feels like. Maybe as a group we could decide, for the sake of inclusion and giving everyone a voice and a greater understanding, would be to pull back for and allow more discussion. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Ed.
Thanks, guys.
Scott?
Yes, I participated in an effort to get grants from the Theodore Roosevelt Group last summer. Jerry sent out an email inviting us if we wanted to participate, and I accepted the invitation. And I attended probably about 8 or 10 different meetings. Once they found out that our nonprofit was set up the way that it was, we weren't really eligible to be granted through the state or federal government. And I see this as a bit to the club moving forward. The other thing is I agree with Bill in that our bylaws state a majority, just a simple majority. And I don't think it's necessary to go back and review this again and again. We had an incident with the member, and we go on so far where I was hesitant in bringing my young friend Jonah to the meeting because of that member been nipped in the bud. I see this as the same kind of problem where, don't, and hey, no, February 28th comes, the vote's in, and whatever the vote is, that's it. It's a free country, and if you want to move on, move on. I have gotten benefits out of FFI. I joined FFI before I met Jerry Coviello. I stated that at a number of member meetings. And one of the things is how many members are actually coming to these meetings. We have maybe 25 members at our normal meetings. And at Christmas time, we had maybe 42 members. So at no time have we ever had enough members to sit down and really present this, other than if you read the our newsletters, you'll see that these things have been covered. I've been hearing about actually for probably, I think Jerry first made a proposal talking about it when we were at the American Legion Hall, and that goes back prior to COVID. I'm in favor of it. I see benefits to it, and that's how I feel. I feel once this vote's over, this time period's over, boom. We don't need to be beating a dead horse. It's already been explained for over on what's available. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? And I will answer what you said before, Ed. Why the rush? September's coming up. We're either going to have to move and drag this out one more time, that I've been talking about this for over two years, maybe 3 years now. There is talk inside of the board of directors of FFI that affiliate clubs will be dissolved. They want full charter. That's been going on for the past 4 years as I've been on the board of directors with that. So if that happens, that we would lose everything anyway. And then you'd be on your own. All right. Dale, you want us to talk again?
Yeah, you said the affiliate membership may go away, which, okay. But according to the presentation, all international clubs are affiliates. So are they going to be dissolved also?
They will have to figure out a way what to do with those international clubs. Right now they're doing affiliate, but they might force them to go charter.
They meaning FFI, or they meaning the club?
The club. They might open up a different way. They might call it an international charter membership for their clubs.
Okay. My next thing is, I understand your time frame, come September, we want to have this resolved. How long before September do we have to notify FFI what our intentions are?
I'm going to give you an
2
example.
months, 3 months, 4 months, what?
I'm going to use this example. March 1st, once the election would have been done, our proposal to become charter goes to the board of directors, and that could take 3 months to be approved.
Okay. So September, we're talking June, we have to get something to them to get that 3 month window.
Yep.
Okay. So going back to what Ed was saying, what would be the harm if we set something up for the March meeting? Everybody gets a chance to present their side in front of and we tell the general membership way in advance, not a couple days before the general membership meeting. Tell them now, general membership meeting March, we are going to discuss this. If you are there, you have a chance to say your piece. You got 5 minutes, move on to the next person. And then at the end of that month, we vote.
All right. So Dale, I'm going to ask this question. Why didn't we bring this up at the board meeting?
If you
Because
want
this
to
was
answer it.
no, because this
What
is
we decided at the board meeting was we would put it out for vote.
well, now it's out for a vote, Dale.
And we gave them 2 days notice to respond.
And they have 28, they have till February 28th. And they've had many times that they could have asked me questions. In fact, only one member asked me anything, and that was Dale. I mean, Dave
No,
Gimbel.
you're right. And he did, but nobody knows what he asked and nobody knows your response. My point of view is let's put it in front of the whole board or the whole membership. Let them decide. What's the harm? If you're going to get your vote, you're going to get your vote.
I understand that, Dale, but here's my complaint about that. I've done this 2 years in a row. I've gone up and stood in front and been ridiculed by Jeff. I've done this on September. I've done it in front of 25 people already, 25 members. I'm doing it again now. I've done it through emails. I've done it through newsletters, which people don't even bother reading, some of them. They just throw it out when they see my name. So
you are correct. You presented your case multiple times. I agree with you.
And then how come nobody came back? They just let
But
it go.
never-
I'm very apathetic.
We've never asked the membership what their opinion is in a meeting.
Ron Horton came right out and asked in the meeting.
Yep.
That's
They
one
did, Dale. I don't know what the problem is. I've asked 100 times. Anybody have questions? I get nothing. Now all of a sudden, when peanut butter's hitting the bread, they're asking questions because now it's a certain minority that wants to stop it.
All I'm saying is, and I've said to you personally before, Jerry, I just want to make sure everything's on the same table so everybody has the same voice. At the end of the day, if the voice is to join the charter membership, go that way. I've been a member of FFI long before I've been a member of DFFF. So I don't have a dog in the fight. I just want to make sure nobody can come back to us 3 or 4 months from now and said they were pushed, they were bullied. I just want to make sure we do it so it's all up front. Nobody can say anything. That's all I have to say.
Okay, Dale, no problem. One person asked about, thinking about that if you were an FFI member, that you would vote yes, carte blanche for this. And quite frankly, that's not the case. There are people that have voted no and have been FFI members, both on the survey, which was another thing I put out, the survey.
And I agree with you, Jerry. I struggle with my vote because I don't feel we as a club can force somebody to join another organization, whether it be for the benefit of the club or not. We're forcing somebody to spend money that they might not want to. That's my only opinion.
All right.
Enough said.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Now I'm going to go to Rich Sabo.
Hi, I'm brand new, so I don't know any of you guys, nor the history, or have a dog in the show. Other than process, the item I'm looking for, what are the substantive issues that have previously or currently being raised about changing your FFI membership? I just heard that, making somebody spend some more money, $20 or whatever it is. Clearly, you all have talked about this before. What are the arguments against it?
Against spending $20?
No, against us going to a charter, DVFF going to a charter membership.
I haven't heard anything other than that it's a dollar and cents thing.
Can I have a comment?
Go ahead.
And again, I would just like to restate your presentation on the value has been very informative and much more complete than I've received. Well, will you provide me with a copy of that?
Yes, I will.
And unless,
I will also give you the website that you can go on that Dave Gimbel went on to verify everything that I told him. And Dale,
no,
you know,
whatever works. I trust you. If you want to send it, if you want the website, I can do that.
sure, I
What
will.
I am not anywhere near, if I can say this, I am not pro FFI or anti FFI. All right. And I was not particularly knowledgeable about FFI. I've had some limited contact, but I decided to try and get some personal education. So I went on the FFI website. And on the website, I don't know if I can get this in the camera, but it's very professional. It's very businesslike. It's packed with information. But one of the things that they have is a set of brochures as to how to become an FFI affiliate and how to become an FFI charter. So what I did was put those side by side to compare them and try and sort out at a novice level what was different about them. As Jerry has spoken to, you know, they all start with a membership, incentive, industry program, charter club, insurance, yada, yada. There's a half a dozen categories, some of which Jerry talked about. But when you compare in their brochure what's available as an affiliate club, it's identical to what's available when you become a charter.
Except for,
When you get to the my limited exposure, the additional benefits section, there are 15 listed additional benefits to being a charter member, a charter club. The there are 15 total additional benefits listed. 11 of those benefits are available to the affiliated club, which includes things like renting fly fishing equipment, getting the magazine, yada, yada, yada. There's only 4 in their brochure that are listed as being different. One of those is you are able to get legal advice from FFI attorneys. Well, in the 30 years I've been in this club, happily, we've never had anything close to needing that, and hopefully we never will, but it could be a problem someday. But that's what they let you have access to legal advice from FFI attorneys. There are two listed separate ones, but they actually intertwine, and that's that the FFI, I'm trying to cut their lead. You can become a 501c3, but you can also stay as a 501c7 if you wish. Now, from what Jerry said, there's more depth there that I would like to explore as he gets his information. But fundamentally, on the surface, what that means, they'll fire your taxes.
and
I know, Jerry, please give me a break. I know that
I will. I'm sorry.
There is a bit more to it, but on the surface, they will file your taxes. Now, I'm looking into that. As a C7, you provide a bank statement or two, and if your taxes are on a postcard, they literally take minutes to be done. If you go to the C7, to the C3, they want much more information. And I was told it might take as much as an hour to provide them with the information. So fundamentally, you do the taxes, all they do is the filing. Okay? Now, the last item then that they have is the club fee dues are eliminated. When I read those brochures that way, I was not over impressed with seeing a very extensive benefit. But I qualify that now that Jerry has made that presentation, I would like to be able to give further thought to that.
The issue with, as you say, hours of turning in statements is actually incorrect. As I talked to the office, they said all we need to do is supply them with our bank statement, with what the treasurer, and that's the other reason what the treasurer has been doing on a monthly basis is putting together a a profit and loss statement, a bank statement, a spending statement that this club never had before me, that has also gone to the at each meeting to tell what we're spending our money on. So we already do that. We would just send it in and they would file it. It would also help us get they would do the C3 verification. And as you have just heard, our scholarship issues, trying to get a grant, we lost that. Trying to get youth funding grant, we can't do. So that's out the door. Also, just alleviating the affiliate fee and reducing our insurance by $100 is a big step in the direction of reducing our costs. In my opinion, $450 for insurance and $400 for affiliate fee could be used a lot better than going out the door that way. So you tell me why would you want to keep pouring money down the drain when it can be done that when everybody could be a member and strengthening. I'm gonna be point blank, strengthening FFI and strengthening our conservation cause, because let me tell you, I've Joseph Sari from South Jersey said one of the most important parts is having a voice in conservation where we don't have to go and write to all our congressmen or everything. It's taken care of at the national level. I mean, how many times do you want an oil spilled in the Delaware River if they end up putting a pipeline through there? I'm just going to say that these are things that go on. How many times? I mean, yeah, you can get all the affiliate stuff, but let me tell you, Ron, you got a comprehensive document I sent you that is only for FFI members on the introduction to fly fishing. I should have never given it to you because you weren't a member.
Well, that I'm hearing you that's not what I was.
That's what I told you at the fly fishing day. I says, I'm not supposed to give this to you, but I'll email it to you just so you could see what we do. And, that's kind of hypocritical when you don't belong to a club and you're getting club products.
Well, let's just leave it. I hear you.
Okay.
I have
Well,
my hand raised.
Go ahead.
One thing, okay. Tom Dempsey touched on it. I belong to a gun club. You want to belong to that gun club, you have to have an NRA membership. Okay. Totally. And they support outdoors, conservation, political support, going for grants. So that's one thing. The other thing is, I am not in favor of extending this voting period any further. There's been many, many opportunities going back to our Lizard Creek fishing trip back in April to address these FFI questions and discuss them at meetings. Jerry did a presentation, I think it was back in November, about FFI. The only one who answered or asked any questions at that meeting was Bob Horton. I stood up and spoke about my experience with FFI. And I, as Dale said, I've been a member of FFI before I really knew Jerry at all. So it was my choice. It's a simple majority. Come February 28th, I hope it's over and I hope we can move on. That's my personal opinion. I don't want to see this going any further. I don't want to get involved in enough situation where we have our heads for 4 months before action is finally taken to correct that situation. It was a detriment to the club, and it was a black mark on our club with new members coming in, seeing that behavior.
Dave Gimble, do you need to say anything?
Excuse me, Jerry?
Dave, do you want to say anything? I know I'm asking because you can't raise your hand.
Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry. I did, but you couldn't see it. I just have one question. Well, actually, two questions. This being an official DVFF meeting, correct?
Correct.
Okay. How many members are signed into this meeting? Do you know?
23.
23. We have 70 members, correct?
That's correct.
So therefore, by Robert's Rules of Order, we have a quorum based on the amount of members present at this meeting. So I see
How
if
is
the
that?
people in this are in agreement, then we need not to move on any further with future discussions. Let's get the vote done and get it over with. Thank you.
Correct.
Dale, one more thing. You have your hands up. Dale? Dale, you're on mute.
Better?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. It sounds like to me this meeting is going more towards Jerry Coviola against Ron Cook, and that's not what it should be about. It should be about this club. And I don't know the details of Robert's rules, but I don't know how 23 is a quorum over 70, but whatever. Like I said, I don't know the details. I don't see the harm if we put something out to the entire membership and saying, hey, March's meeting, we are going to discuss this on a table forum. Here's your opportunity to say yes or no, or voice your opinion, yes or no, and vote 2 weeks later. And come April 1st, we know the decision and go forward. Again, I've been FFI member for a long time. I like it, but I don't feel I can force somebody else to do it until they have a chance to voice their opinion publicly and let them know ahead of time and not 2 days ahead of time. They can voice their opinion at the next meeting. If you show up, fine. If you don't, you have nothing to say. That's all I got to say.
Go ahead, Bill.
Well, along with the fellow that was on the phone and
That's
Dale,
Dave.
okay, and Ron, it's a thought. Just let me run it out. We're having the vote. We're pretty much by the bylaws that say, the majority rolls. And would it be worthwhile not to extend it? However, at the next meeting, had to have a vote to ratify this vote. If we have enough members present, we have a quorum, do we ratify the vote is final? Would that be something to look into? And then that way, it really won't be extending anything. The vote's been done, and then everybody in agreement that this is the vote or not.
Uh,
I have my hand raised.
Go ahead.
I don't see the need for that. I just don't see the need for that. This has been on the table. This has been discussed for over 2 years since even prior to COVID. It's been presented as a benefit to the club. And as I said before, if you join a gun club, you're going to be joining an NRA. That's a perfect example. We could have said, oh, you got to join Charter Unlimited or something else. But I believe that FFI offers us more opportunities. I've taken advantage of the learning centers, which that's a tremendous asset for us. And the other thing is, while we're sitting here, what Bill just said to do, we're just extending it again. Who's to say that we would have enough people to really even do that? People are tired of hearing about this. It's time to make a decision. It's time to grow up and say, okay, February 28th is our cutoff. Let's move on.
Dale, your hands up.
I'm done.
Okay. Dale?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with Scott. They may be tired, but if they're tired, I only see 23 out of 70 on the site. But again, I don't see the harm of waiting another 45 days. If we need 3 months to get it through FFI, September 1st is our deadline. We got to June 1st. I don't see the harm in telling everybody up front, March's general meeting is your last and only opportunity. Voice your opinion and then finalize it and then ratify it in April. I mean, again, there's 23 other people on here and I haven't heard from a lot of them. A few, yes, but I'd like to hear from some of the other people that have been around for a while. And what do they think? Should we just jump in and switch? I don't know. I'm not comfortable with forcing 20 or 30 of our members who've been members for 10, 20, 30 years to joining something they can't. That's why I expressed my question about the grandfather clause. If everybody here wants to go forward with it, like I said, I've been an FFI member a long time. I'm good with it. I just don't want to hurt people or force people out of our club. I don't want to chase people away.
That's totally understandable, Dale. That's a thought. What can be done, which happens in our own club, is we go. Let's just say the vote majority says FFI. Let's just say that. We could then give 1 year of everybody to stay with the club and make the decision if they want to stay or leave. That could be done too, Dale.
Did you say that
That's
again?
fine. One of my things, Jerry, and I haven't brought it up before, when we had this big discussion at our general membership meeting, I think it was last July, when we had the blow up, and one of the members asked you point blank, does it have to be unanimous or majority?
It's supposed to be unanimous. I hate this. I mean, not unanimous. It has to be majority.
I know, but you said unanimous.
No, his question was, does everybody have to be an FFI member when you become charter? And the answer is yes.
Now, I'm going to disagree. The question was, is the vote majority or unanimous?
No,
And when I heard it, I was shocked. I was like, why would you say that? But that's what you said in front of the membership. Whether they remember or not, at this point, it's irrelevant.
it's always been a majority vote, but
I agree. I've read the bylaws more than once. I agree with you.
But the question really was, do I need to be an FFI member if once you do charter? Charter when you become charter, every member has to be a member of FFI.
I agree. I've read it multiple times. I agree with you.
So the question is, does a member have to be an FFI member to be in our club once we become a charter? And the answer was yes. Not the other way around.
No,
Dale.
okay. I'm just saying what I heard that night.
No, I would never have said that. Bill, you had your hand up?
Yeah. One final thought, the move to charter is certainly not to hurt any of the standing members, certainly not to become this point of a contention where it becomes unfriendly. But I do see that being a charter is future. It's for future members. It's a draw. It's a benefit to move forward and to grow the club. It certainly offers an awful lot to current and future members, and in no way do I see that moving to charter is a detriment to the club. And there may be some that are in disagreement, but that's the small ball or a small view of. I think we do have more to look forward to in the future by joining as a charter and haven't had to offer new members and, you know, the benefits to current members.
I want to ask Jim Brennan to unmute. Jim, you've been very quiet. And I know you, and what is your thoughts?
Well, I'm a fairly new member compared to the rest of you, about 3 years, but I had joined FFI separately at around the same time, only because I heard about it. Sure where I heard it from. But can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Jim.
Oh, okay.
You're doing well.
But I joined because I thought as somebody new to fly fishing, it's another way to learn, and there are the various learning opportunities on the site. So that's a bit winded way of saying I don't have a problem being a member of FFI or the club being a charter member. I don't see it as a big expense. If that is an issue, I mean, not that I've got lots of money. I'm not saying that. It's just that I don't see it as a big expense, especially for somebody like me who's looking for as many opportunities as possible to learn as much as I can. As this discussion seems to be going, it seems to be more of an issue of how the membership was informed, advised, or given opportunity to consider becoming a member. I didn't feel as though there was anything really lacking in that. It's kind of surprising to me. It's a fairly extensive discussion on this whole issue, to be honest with you. And at one point I was thinking, this is a pretty long meeting over something that doesn't seem to be a major issue. But again, I'm not someone who's been around for 20, 30 years like most of you have.
But Jim, I'm gonna say that this is you see it. Others were always objective, not objective. They were malcontent towards me and felt that I was only doing this to get something out of it. Hence, even the word corrupt came through. I get nothing out of this, whether you become a charter or not. I get paid nothing. All right. So I just want to thank you, Jim, for your comments, and it meant a lot to me. Keith, you've been kind of quiet. Go ahead. I'm asking you to unmute. There you go. You're still muted, Keith. Keith, you're still muted. Hit the space bar. Hit the go down and hit the audio button all the way on your left-hand side. See if that'll work. Keith, you're still
okay. I'm
There
there.
you go.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can. Go ahead, Keith.
All right. Yeah, I have not been a active member, I should say. I would like to be more active, but I guess I'm too active. Don't have the time. That said, I have a little experience in this kind of stuff, and I don't want to shortchange anybody because I'm not sure I know all the facts, and certainly don't know all the history. Probably don't want to know all the history, to be honest with you. But as a newbie, I can say that these kinds of discussions only push away the people that may be interested in joining a new group of friends that they don't know yet. So to me, this is kind of a negative. Now, it's a very simple thing. I think in the end, it's either we vote for it or we don't. And I think it's a very simple thing to put a pro-con list up and somebody do the pros, somebody do the cons, and it's done. I don't think it's that more involved than that. And if the only financial thing I can see is $25 a year. Well, I don't, at the risk of being a little bit loose with money, I can say that I'm not really worried about that. And if somebody's really worried about that, then they probably don't belong in a club. Now, that's kind of rude maybe, but I just feel that that's ridiculous if that's truly the problem. may not, it probably is deeper than that, and I just don't, I'm not aware of it. I don't know. But I just don't see any negatives. There was talk about you want to force people to do things. Well, that's just not the way of the world anymore. That might have been for 50 years ago, but I can't tell you 100 different places where we're being forced to do things we don't want to do. It's just part of the program. You either want what you get out of it and it's worth it, or it's not. The price just went up. That's all I look at it. Everything's going up. So anyway, enough of my rambling. Thank you for me.
Thank you, Keith. Dale, Dave, Gimbel, I know you have your hand up
Yeah.
3 times. Go ahead.
Jerry?
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, I didn't have any further questions. Other than my last statement. I just think that, we've expended enough time on this that, it's, everybody has their right to vote yes or no, and let's be done with it.
All right. I agree. Greg, go ahead.
Hey, yeah, I kind of feel the same way as everybody else. I didn't feel like we were shortchanged as far as the time frame to vote. Emails coming out. Whether you saw it or not. I mean, I don't live in my email every day, but I definitely saw it and I made the vote right away. I think the club has a lot of benefits. I'm new to fly fishing. I'm new to the club. I moved away a little further, so it's harder to be active or join the meetings. But forums like this and being able to reach out to all the different guys like Scott and Bill Ashcraft and Dale and all these guys that we fish with, I just think this joining FFI is going to end up benefiting newer guys like me. I'm only into fly fishing like 3-4 years now. And, it was a long discussion a couple times at different meetings, and I think it was worth it. Seeing everything laid out tonight definitely just seals the deal on my end, but that's my opinion. Other people might not feel that way, but so be it, but I appreciate the time that everybody's put into this and, all the board members and everything else. And for you, Jerry, you're doing this, it's not a pay thing. Like you said, you guys are all working at it. So I appreciate it, but just
Thanks.
wanted to say that much.
Thanks, Greg.
I want to talk, how about, just got flipped around.
I want to say something.
Go ahead, Jerry.
I don't know I couldn't find how to raise your hand.
It's okay.
I'll raise my finger. I'm in favor of FFI. Just like Greg just said there, I think it really helps the new members to get involved and see all the benefits. I think that's the part that most people don't understand and know, and maybe have tried it to find it online. So I think, again, too, the cost of our club is membership is pretty low in my mind, and I'm a member of another club, and that's higher, and it's about equal with this. I think FFI offers that extra, I guess, bonus, if you want to call it that, of literature, seminars, everything like that, that could, if the people want to find out more things, learn more things, it's there for them at their taking. So I think it's beneficial for the club. And I agree with the bylaws, that the bylaws say the majority, and we already have that vote. So I think, I think we move on from here.
Thank you, Jerry. Don, you hate to call on you, but go ahead. Don, I really would like your idea, your input. Oh God, we got I can't hear you. Don, you want to? Yeah. If that doesn't work, you can call me.
Can I just make a little comment? It's just a
Hold on.
contextual thing.
Yes, Mike.
Yeah, it's, when you put different people together, you're going to have disagreements. It's just normal. And the key here, I think, is to have respect for each other and to honor each person's point of view. And I wish everybody could just agree on everything and that everything be done by consensus and unanimity, but that's just not reasonable. But it is reasonable to expect people to respect each other. This club is supposed to be for fun, for the joy of fishing, for the extra joy of fly fishing. And if we focus on that, I think that will be key. That's what I would consider to be the mission of the group. And if there are differences in political opinion or other perspectives, that should be secondary to the fishing. This is not a club about other things. But on the other hand, we have to find a way to get along with each other and be able to focus on what's important. But it requires respect for each other. And the fact that we spent this much time listening to each other and talking about what I also consider a relatively small issue, I think reflects the fact that we're trying to work things out. And I hope Ron DeCook had an opportunity to hear other sides. A lot of times it's just a matter of talking things out and getting a little bit more educated to get on the same page. And, again, just focusing on what's important. Life is hard enough as it is. There's so many conflicts. It's wonderful to be able to have a good time on the water. I'd hate for people in the club to fight over other stuff. That's my point of view.
Thank you.
Well said.
Thank you, Don.
Okay. Don, are you able to talk? You want to call me? I can't, I pinged you my phone.
Yeah, maybe if I unmute my phone.
That's it. Yeah, that'll work. Go ahead, Don.
So again, I'm not a super active member either, and so I feel like I don't have any of the history or I haven't lived through it. But as a new member, relatively new member, I can't see any downside to it. Again, I hate to spend other people's money, but I think as Keith said earlier, for $25. It comes with that's the price of moving the club forward. I mean, I gladly support it and participate to the extent that I'm able to. I have no problem with it. And again, I come into this. I've been in a lot of clubs over the years of different things and sat on a lot of boards, and there's always a few people that do all the work, and then everybody else just kind of comes along. In this case, so far at this time in my life, I'm not doing any of the work. So I feel like if you guys are willing to put the time in to do this homework, Jerry and whoever else is involved in this, I trust you. I have to. I don't have, for the little bit of money that it costs to be in this club, I have to trust that my leadership here in a club that's been around this long has good intentions and has the members back. So I'm okay with it.
Thank you, Don. Dale? You have your hand up?
Yeah, real quick, because I think I've said more than enough tonight. I just want everybody to know, I'm a good friend of Ron. I'm a good friend of Jerry. It's not about sides. It's about what's best for the club. But I'd like to hear from Dan, Keith, and Greg, and how you feel about forcing somebody who's been a member of this club for 20, 30 years to do something above and beyond what they originally signed up for. I don't see the benefit for them. That's all.
Bruce? You mentioned Dan, Keith, and Greg.
Well, they all mentioned how they think it's good to do this, but they all said they've been in the club for a couple of years. What about somebody who's been in the club for 20 years or 30 years, or somebody who started the club with one intention and now it's going in a whole different direction? And I'm not opposed to change. I'm not opposed to change.
Dale, you could hear what this club was before I even knew about it, joined it. If you want to go back to that, that's fine with me. I have no problem with just opening up a table, pouring coffee and throwing donuts on a table and just talking about fishing. That's how it was back with Silver Lake.
Well, Jerry, that's not how it was. I was there before, and we had speakers, and we had good times.
Oh,
I'm
I
not
heard
saying-
differently. Yeah.
I'm not saying it hasn't progressed. It has. But you can't keep talking how bad it was in the past to move forward. That's not good.
Well, you're right, Dale. I apologize for that.
Sorry,
Yeah.
may I inject one thing here?
Yes, please.
Yes, just a quick note, just to verify and clear the air on, little history of DVFF. I was a past president back at the Silver Lake times, and we always did our best to have speakers and events and, intro to fly fishing classes and things of that nature. And, it was always a question of, how we were going to do it and people stepping up, which people did step up. We had a good crew, and some of those old members are still around. But funding was always an issue, and the club has far, far, far more progressed in the last few years than I would have ever anticipated seeing it progress as a past president. So, I think, like I said in my statement that I wrote in, is let's all just pull in the same direction. I mean, it's for the good of the whole, and it's good for each member individually. Just take advantage. We all probably spend more than the additional things at coffee at Wawa over the course of a year, or on a fishing trip. So that's it. I'm done. Thank you.
Dave, I got one question for you. How do you think we should proceed?
I personally think we should let the vote run till the end of this February at the 28th, and when it's in, it's in. We count them and it's done.
I agree. Anybody else? Anybody agree? Just put your hands up.
I agree.
I'm sure. Who was that speaking? I don't know who it was.
That's Dave Gimbel, past president of
Okay.
DFF.
Yep. Thank you.
I got everybody. Raise your hand if you want to, just to get the vote to proceed. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I see 11 already. That's to me, that's everybody has made a decision already that we let the vote go to the 28th.
To the 28th, and then that's it.
And then that's it. We made the decision already, and I appreciate that. All right. Because I don't want to drag this meeting out any longer. It's already been an hour and a half. And I'm getting tired. It's past my bedtime.
Hey,
All right.
Jerry.
Thank you, everybody. Yes.
You're already.
Who was talking?
It's me, Scott.
Go ahead, Scott.
One last thing that I had on my notes, and I discussed it with you before. I was on a board of another association, and somebody got one of our activities. I was sued, personally sued. The insurance from the association covered my lawyer and would have covered the settlement. So I was very thankful of that. Our insurance as an affiliate or a charter is an important thing for us to have. Whether you're cooking steaks and Ed's one of my steaks and decides to sue me, or somebody gets in a car wreck going to one of our events. These things happen, and people get in the back of their mind, oh, well, we're going to sue. This protected my house and my assets. Okay. So that was something that was brought up before. It's a point where I forgot to mention it. Also, I don't know how to put my hand up, but if my hand isn't up, I'm in favor of the vote ending on February 8th.
All right.
Jerry?
Yes.
I wish to thank all of the people that have made comments tonight. Thank you.
You're welcome. I would just like to conclude.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Rob,
everyone.
for being a gentleman.
One thing I think there was a big point that should be brought up here is to get a pros and cons sheet up for people what the benefits of FFI is and what you get out of it. So then these are for
Jerry,
new members.
I will resend it.
No, but I
millionth
think we
time
should
again.
have one that have one printed out for the new members or possible new members that come to the club, as they will know that that's part of the requirement from what the vote I see is it's passed. So that'll mean that all new members, potential new members that walk in the door has this in front of them in black and white that they can take it with them. And then that's understood that this has been given to them. And that's part of joining the club, that this is benefits and reasons why we're members. And that's how the dues is created, both the membership that we pay, the normal membership, plus the extra dues to FFI.
And I just want to add, for those that have lost the link to the voting, email me at the Delaware Valley Fly Fishers email address, gmail.com. I will resend that link to you. And if you don't feel comfortable with this, just vote no. I mean, that's just the way it is, you know? All right. Have a good evening, everybody. Thank you again for attending. I hope you got something out of this. And I know I did. And I appreciate you, all of you, as being members. Thank you, everybody.
Gary. Thanks, Ron. Thanks, Ed. Everyone that spoke, thank you very much.
Bye now.
Good night.